Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa-Chanura-Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. And today we take up the reading of the 31st Shloka of Dhyana Yoga, the 6th Adhyay of Srimad Bhagvad Gita. And Sri Krishna is further going to elucidate, further going to impress upon our minds the relationship between the spiritual aspirant who has had the ultimate realization and the Paramatman and Sri Krishna himself. What is that relationship? In 30th Shloka, he has already told us that Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati. One who sees me sarvatra, everywhere. Not only the... Now, you see, earlier he had told us about sarva-bhūtani, in all beings. And now Sri Krishna says sarvatra. That is the difference between, that is one additional point that he has brought in this 30th shloka. That the sentient as well as the insentient objects in this universe, who sees me in all, yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mayi pashyati, and who sees everything is containing me. Everything is filled with me. Whatever may be the names and forms, living or non-living, he sees me in everything. And sarvam cha mayi pashyati, and sees all in me. That universality, that knowledge of oneness of all. Having attained that knowledge, what happens? Tasya aham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. That person he never becomes lost to me, nor I become lost to him. Because we are one and the same thing then. There is no separateness, there is no divisiveness, there is no devising force that separates that person from me, or that separates me from that person. It is all ekam sat. It is all one entity. Like the example that Sri Ramakrishna had given at the end of this shloka that we had read, of the sweetmeats can be in many various forms. The sweetmeats in the shape of animals, birds, human beings. But they all carry the same sweet sugar within them. The principle carried in all these different names and forms is the same. So that is the ultimate realization. And what happens when one gets this ultimate realization, when gets this Brahma Jnana? There, in that person, sarva-bhūta-sthitaṁ yo mam bhajatyekatvam āsthitaḥ sarvathā vartamānopi sa yogi mayi vartate. Sarva-bhūta-sthitaṁ yo mam bhajatyekatvam āsthitaḥ. Having established in that knowledge of me dwelling in everything and everything in me, one who worships me like this, one mam bhajati ekatvam āsthitaḥ, having established, firmly established in this understanding of unity, ekatvam, he who worships all the beings residing me with this firm understanding of unity, ekatvam. There is no, differences between one and the other. With this understanding of unity in all, who worships me. For such a person, what happens? Sri Krishna is telling. For such a person, sarvatha vartamānopi sa yogi mayi vartate. Sarvatha, under all circumstances, every time, under sarvatha is in every way. In every way, vartamānaha api saha yogi mayi vartate. That yogi lives in me forever, all the time, whatever he may be doing. Practically he may be doing anything, but such a yogi is always living in me, is always within me, always abides in me. Mayi vartate. So that is the truth that Sri Krishna is telling, which all the yogis following this path of dhyana, they are going to attain. That this is the ultimate assurance that Sri Krishna is giving us. They forever dwell in me. They are abiding in me, such people of the Atma Jnana, of the Brahma Jnana. He who established in oneness, ekatvam āsthitaḥ, worships me abiding in all beings. Bhajati yo mam sarva-bhūta-sthitaṁ. He who worships me, established in this firmness of understanding, he who worships me as dwelling in all the beings, dwelling everywhere, sarvatra, sarva-bhūta-hite. So that person, that yogi, lives in me, whatever may be his mode of living, whatever he may be doing. Sarvatha vartamānopi sa yogi mayi vartate. He is very much in me. He is not separate from me, provided that yogi has got this understanding of oneness of all the beings and the Lord residing in all the beings. A person discharged from prison is conscious that he is no more a prisoner. Be he shut up in a room, enchained, handcuffed or tethered. Now what happens? Supposing a person is serving some sentence in prison for whatever crime he might have done. And then came a day of his discharge. His prison term comes to an end. There is an order. The magistrate has come with the order. Well, your term is over. Now you are free to go. That person comes home. And he is again put in a room. He is again handcuffed, chained. Room is locked and told, you are in prison. That person, he knows very well that now the order has come to set me free. I can no more be a prisoner. I have served my term, fine. But I am no more a prisoner. They might have bound me by the chains. They might have locked me in the room. But that doesn't mean I have lost my freedom now. I am a free man. I have completed my term. So, he is not at all perturbed that I am imprisoned again. He knows very well that now no more imprisonment for him. Not the external setting, but the attitude of the man is main factor here. He knows for sure he is set free. They may chain him, they may lock him, they may put him in a isolated room and all that. But he has got that understanding that he is a free man now. No more behind the bars, no more imprisonment. The knower of Brahman is conscious that Brahman alone is putting on appearance of many in the universe. And exactly the same is the case of knower of the Brahman. Now he knows you cannot bind me. That was okay, my old self which was imprisoned and which served its terms. Now I am a free man. Now don't try to fool me with all those the temporary things, temporary appearances. Now I am known. I am a free man. The knower of Brahman says, now I know that yes, it is he that is dwelling in all. And all of these diversities that I am seeing in this universe, they are carrying him. So that is the level of understanding, that is the level of knowledge. And because of the Brahmavastha in which he is established, his contact with beings is nothing short of adoration of Brahman. And then what happens? That now he has understood this reality. He cannot be fooled anymore. He cannot be just mentally chained anymore. He cannot be put behind the bars anymore. He has understood what is real. He has understood he is free. He has understood it is the same principle lie. And like the example that Sri Ramakrishna had quoted, that we read at the end of the previous shloka, that great holy man, that saint, he looks the same person who had beaten him mercilessly. He's saying the same hand is now tending me. So that is the level of understanding that one gets having got the Brahmajnana, having got established in the Brahmavastha. His external behavior may indicate he is meditating, attending to the obligatory duties, or taking rest. Externally, he may be doing anything then. Externally, he may be in any kind of duty. He may be performing any activity, or he may not be performing any activity at all. But in the heart of his heart, the knowledge that he has got, in the heart of his heart, the realization that he or she has had of oneness with all the beings can never be diluted, can never be changed, can never be transformed. That knowledge constantly dwells under any circumstances. Today we may be in a good situation, tomorrow we may be in a sorrowful situation. But a man of this understanding, a man of this realization, for him it is all a play. Because that person knows that ultimately it is the same thing that is everywhere. The same principle that is everywhere. In good situations, in bad situations, in good people, in bad people, in pious people, in wicked people. The same principle is abiding in them. And all these diversities, they are part of that same principle. So Sri Krishna says, when such a state of understanding comes, when such a state of knowledge dawns on a person, when he gets that realization, then that person, He may be doing anything. Sarvatha vartamāno pi sa yogi mayi vartate. He may be doing anything, he may be in any place, any circumstances, good or bad. That yogi, that person, is always abiding in me. That is the ultimate assurance that Sri Krishna has given. Now, but subjectively, he is fixed in Brahman. He may be doing anything, but he is always fixed in Brahman. That knowledge can never go away from him. That knowledge can never leave him. That knowledge can never deceive him of the ultimate reality. This is the state of liberation from all bondage. And once having got that knowledge of seeing one in all and knowing one abiding in all, this knowledge further leads to liberation from all the bondages. Now he is a free person. Now no more prisoner. No more behind bars. The magistrate order of his release has come. This state is technically known as Sahaja Nishtha. Sahaja Nishtha. That is the permanence of dwelling in that state of liberation. Now what Sri Ramakrishna has to talk about this? Let us see. The ignorant one believes that God is in some far off region called heaven. This is what normally, people tend to believe. Up, uppar wala, that God lives there. This is the normal tendency. But Sri Ramakrishna says this is what? This is the way of thinking of the ignorance. They think that the God is in some far off region called as heaven. The enlightened one, on the other hand, beholds him as the core of his own being. The person of knowledge, the illumined person, knows that God is not there up somewhere else in the heaven. God is here, very much within me. Ishvara is in the hearts of all, and when he knows, he gets this realization, God is in my heart, God is in me here. Also gets the realization that all other people also, God is there here. And their God and my God, they are no different. Ishvara is in the hearts of all. The seeker of God therefore realizes him first within himself. First he realizes him within himself. And then he gets that understanding that, oh my God is here. If for me God is here in me, for others also God must be there in them. And then that idea of differentiation just shatters like the broken glass. That idea shatters of me and you. That idea of differentiation between a person and a person, differentiation between me and other living beings, that just gets shattered, and then comes the realization of oneness. What is dwelling in me is also dwelling in them. We all are carrying the same principle within us. We are all part and parcel. I am maybe this hand, that person is this hand, that person is this ear, and like that. So, the Paramapurusha is same. We are all just different cells of that body. But we are very much part and parcel of it. The seeker of God therefore realizes him first within himself, and then dawns the knowledge of oneness with all beings. That was the beautiful explanation that Sri Ramakrishna gave on this particular teaching of Sri Ramakrishna, of Sri Krishna, of oneness of all. And that is what ultimately happens with the yogi, and Sri Krishna's assurance that once yogi starts, once that person starts worshipping me in all beings, then a stage comes that whatever he may do, whatever she may do, having got that knowledge, then that person forever, come what may, abides in me, is very much part of me. So that was the 31st shloka of the Dhyana Yoga of Sri Krishna, assuring us that I never disown that person. That person becomes part of me. What more assurance we want? Nothing. And that is the biggest assurance Sri Krishna has given us in this 31st shloka of the Dhyana Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.